Hi, so I was wanting to do a video on my Q4 earnings in merch and KDP, and so here it is. Merch, of course, is Amazon's POD, print on demand, selling arm, mainly for t-shirts, but they do other products. KDP, I am referring to low content book print publishing, like notebooks, logbooks and planners, etc. So these are products that you upload the designs at Amazon, and Amazon will print the design, deliver it to the customer, etc. and you get paid a royalty on that design. So that's the basic premise for this business. Another thing to say at this point is really important is I view them both as side businesses. They are not my main business, and I would hate them to be my main business because for reasons I will go into as I tell you the results of my figures. It's quite difficult to compare the years because the previous year, 2018, I wasn't doing KDP for the whole of that year, just the second half of it, more or less. And then I had a good December. The December 2018 in KDP was 3,800 revenue, dollars that is, and this year it was 2,500 for the December. So it was very disappointing, the KDP figures. Overall, throughout the year, the figures weren't rising. No matter what I did, I created a lot of new books. I did a lot of work on KDP over this year. However, during the year, I was only ever making $1,000 a month, maybe 1,200, 1,300. It was never more than that until we went into November, which is what you expect because I do a lot of planners. The planners didn't do as well as they did last year, and interestingly enough, I did French, German, Spanish language planners this year. They did better than the English. So the whole problem with KDP, for me, is the competition, which it did seem to increase this year. And I could say that I am somewhat culpable for that, as I created a course on low content book publishing, as well as many others the previous year. So you know, a lot of people know about this method of making money online, and it's also relatively easy and a relatively easy business to enter into. Let's get on to the figures, and then I'll tell you how I feel about KDP, merch and POD in general, print on demand businesses in general. So during the course of the year, my KDP revenue was around $17,000. And the merch revenue was around $6,000, and I was quite happy with the merch revenue because I didn't do any work for merch, not until towards the end of the year, and the December, the Q4 period was almost as good as the Q4 period previously. So the previous year, 2018, I was very positive about KDP and very negative about merch. I'm actually more positive about merch now and more negative about KDP because the KDP, as I've explained, the figures are going down, and for the merch the figures went down a little bit, but then I didn't do any work, so it was all passive. So there's a lot to think about there. But there is another thing that I'm going to include here. Also this year, saying this year, I mean 2019, I released a product which were planner templates in PDF and InDesign documents. So you could take these 2020 planners and use the templates and use them as you wish. So you could sell them on Amazon, you could sell them on Etsy as paperback books, or you could use them for yourself to print them out yourself. And they brought in another $5,000, which was a really big win for the year because I had them anyway. All I had to do was package them up and do a sales page on Gumroad and then sell it to my audience, and I was quite happy with the results for that. Thank you everyone who bought one of those, and it does seem to be successful. So that is something I will do this year, 2020. I will be making 2021 planners, and I'll be releasing that product towards the beginning of the year, even though the demand obviously is towards the end. So anyway, the whole profit for all my POD businesses would be therefore around about $27,000. And from that, you have to take a massive amount off for my expenses. And this is one thing, it's very important that you need to consider. It's up to everyone personally and what they do. Personally, I've always used VAs. Well, I have used VAs at least for the last 4 years or so. So for me, it was a very natural thing to use freelancers, both in the creation of the products, the designs, as well as the uploading at KDP and Merch. Now, I don't recommend other people do that. It means you have to trust the freelancer, you have to share your Amazon login. Amazon, it's not against their terms, but Amazon advise you not to do that as it's a security risk. But it's something that I've taken the decision that I want to do because I find the process of POD extremely boring and I don't want to do it all myself. Oh, and also I have spent money on advertising, about $1,000 on each. I don't do much advertising. The advertising I do, I follow the same rules as Shashwat Ashia does. Basically, you put the bids really low and you stop the campaign if you get 10 clicks without any sale. And the advertising has been moderately successful on both Merch and KDP, but nothing amazing. So I reckon all the expenses together are around about $7,000, making my profit from all my POD businesses around 20k. And is that something to celebrate? No, I'm kind of disappointed with that. It's not growing as a business in the way I had hoped, and I believe that it's only a side business because you just can't rely on that. You're building in Amazon's playground. They can stop your account any time, and they can change the rules. All sorts of these things happen. So at the moment, I'm disappointed, but I am going to carry on. Another reason not to consider this as a long-term option is that I just believe in 2 or 3 years' time, machines will be doing this. Amazon will figure out some way to get a machine to design their t-shirts. They have the data and the ability to get great results doing things like that. So for me, I'm going to persevere with print on demand, Merch and KDP next year. I'm not going to put so much time into KDP. I'm going to put a little bit more time into Merch. I'm going to concentrate on what's successful at the moment, and then we'll see what happens maybe halfway through the year or towards the end of the year with POD. And I'm just keeping my eyes open for other business opportunities online and off at the moment. As I say, it's not bad, but it's just not as good as I hoped it would be. I'll have some more content for you about POD, about my thoughts on it and how to do it yourself. But in the meantime, thanks for watching.